Welcome to Sipping on Excellence. This is Coach KJ, and I'm here with my man, my dude, the Doc.
And this is where we will be discussing the exceptional that is absolutely attainable. My friends, here's to living that extraordinary life.
Cheers.
Oh, man. Coach KJ.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome to another episode of Sipping on Excellence with Coach KJ and Doc.
I'm Coach KJ.
I'm Doc, coming at you every week. Same bat channel.
I guess same bad time?
Yeah, pretty
same
much.
Bad channel. Yeah,
Pretty much.
Yeah.
How y'all doing out there, man? We want to say, first and foremost, thank you to all y'all who've been supporting us. Keep doing it. Keep sharing. Keep liking. Show up on Saturdays, 11 o'clock for the lives. Every Wednesday, this podcast comes out.
Every Saturday. Oh, my gosh. Little stank on you.
Dude, every Saturday, boy. It be
Bombs over Baghdad.
It be going down. For real. Woo. It really does.
Ooh, got me moving today, boy.
More than we ever suspect.
I know. Oh,
Dude.
my goodness. Sheesh.
This last week was good.
Yeah.
And we're going to touch on it a little bit today, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, it's just shit going down this week. Conversations had just, it's kind of why we got into this topic for today. But we'll get to that.
All our topics, all our conversations.
No, I was in surgery today, and I was telling some people, because I'm as a new surgery center, I'm telling them about the podcast. And they were like, oh, well, how do you guys come up, like, how do you not run out of content? I was like, because people will never stop doing shit. They'll never not say shit, and they'll never not do shit.
Right.
So as long as y'all keep saying and doing shit, we're going to keep talking shit.
Right. And every time, the idea overall is always finding that slightly better way or something a little better, something you can take home with to not think the way you were thinking.
Or just on top of that, just enlighten you to shit that people think. Because you may be thinking things but won't express it. We have a great way of taking what you want to say and actually saying it.
Because we ain't scared.
Don't get mad because we say it. You know, we don't just talk about men. We don't just talk about women. We talk about people. We talk about ideas. We talk about things.
Right. Life shit.
Life shit.
Yeah, man.
It's likes and it's differences. You know? Shit.
So anyway, man, how are you doing, brother? How are you doing?
Good, man. Good, man. Hate that we missed the gym today. I tried.
I know.
But
had me in there going deaf.
Felt like he was in a nightclub.
Oh, no. Man, it be all the way live in that gym.
Shit.
Oh my God, you killing me, bro. I come out of there deaf.
Yeah, no, just a couple surgeries today and just kind of eased into the week.
Yeah. And
just hoping that it stays nice and, like I said, had some conversations this weekend, and people are special, man. But you can't call them special because then they get offended when you call them special.
But they used to do that in church. They're like, oh, but you know he's special.
I wish this was live because I want to ask y'all a question. Why do people get offended? Or better yet, why do people always find something to take offense with whatever you say? People get offended by compliments. They get offended by insults. They get offended by facts. They get offended by lies. They get offended by opinions. Instead of just taking it in as, you know what, information, they let everything offend them. And I'm like, shit, what's wrong with you? How miserable must your life be that everything bothers you?
You've got to be exhausted.
If everything bothers you, you just got to make you just not happy.
Right. Let alone have a coronary.
Dude, it don't make no sense to me, man.
I know.
And like how I was saying to you earlier, I'm like, maybe, you know, this part right here, this is a me problem. And I'll tell you why. I'm venting a little bit right now. This is a me problem.
Okay.
Because I have a hard time not getting frustrated with illogical and irrational thought. When somebody comes at me from a place of emotion and no logic, and I try to incorporate some logic into the situation, and it's just not being received or not being received well, it annoys the shit out of me. And not that I want you to not have emotion when you speak, or, it's okay to be passionate about what you're talking about. But if my opinion comes from a place of logic or rationality, don't get all bent out of shape because I'm pointing out the logic behind the logic or the lack of logic.
Well, the challenge is because they're too caught into their emotion.
And this could be men or women, so don't come at me saying he's talking about women.
Yeah, your logic is not what they want to hear at that time.
No.
Because they're still too wrapped up into that emotion and being emotional about it, as opposed to finding a way out of that level of emotion or why they are emotional in that moment.
Or it's okay to be emotional about it.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you not to be. I'm just saying when I respond to you, because I don't come from a place of emotion, I'm going to come from a place of logic. Either I'm going to respond to you or you want me to stay quiet.
Right.
But I'm not going to respond the way you want me to respond. I'm going to respond the way I would respond.
Yeah.
And it frustrates me when people can't get that.
What I find interesting, though, with you is why people would not say, listen, I just want to vent. I just want a listening ear. Like, I know you. So I would say, hey, listen, I just need to get this off my chest. I'm not looking for anything. I just need to get this off my chest, if it's okay with you.
But that's not what they come to me with.
I know. But I'm saying they know you, but yet they do that anyway.
Well, here's the
and
reason
they
why.
don't do it the way I'm saying that they probably should.
And here's the reason why is because they want me to say something back. They do. They want me to respond and interact, but they just want me to respond and interact the way they would want me to.
Right.
Because if I sat there quiet, why aren't you saying anything?
You can't win for losing. You damned if you do, damned if you don't.
It's like, or they'll ask you something and they'll look at you like waiting for a response. And I'm like,
leaning in?
Well, because I'm like, there was no question there. So I don't have an answer to a non-question. Okay, you said a statement of feeling or fact. And I do this. If I'm nodding, cool. Oh, you want me to... Are you asking for me to respond to that like you want an answer to a non-question or you want an opinion? What do you want? Because I'll give you whatever you're asking me, but you still got to ask it.
Right. And I'm going to give it from my standpoint.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you
my logic.
I'm not going to tell you what I think I want you to hear. I'm going to tell you what I think I want to say. Right. And it's either going to be what you want to hear or need to hear or not. I don't care. I'm going to say that again. I don't care. If you don't want to know, don't bring it up.
Right.
If you don't want to know my thoughts on it, don't start the conversation.
You better skip over it.
Or I just stay quiet and it'll be a monologue. That's cool too. You can talk all day. And when I've had enough, I'll just be like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah.
Because I will cut you off and be like, I don't feel like hearing anymore.
Oh, you better than me. I just walk away. I just drift in the darkness. I am very good at that too. Like, I'm ghost.
But the thing is, people don't care that we communicate different. You know?
They don't.
And so I bring this up and we'll get more into it. But before we get into it, I want to know how your day's going, man. Anything new with you since we last talked 5 minutes ago? Anything new since we last talked to them?
Oh, man. The only thing that's new is I saw Deadpool. That shit was good.
Deadpool Wolverine?
Yeah.
It was good?
I enjoyed the hell out of that movie.
Could you see anybody else playing Wolverine besides Hugh Jackman?
No. But, I'm not going to spoil it. You just have to see it. I was about to say it, but it was a star-studded cast. I'll put it to you that way. It was good. Very, very well written.
They spent a lot of money on that movie.
They spent a lot of money, but they had to.
Summer blockbuster.
And it made
You're Marvel, you got to.
It made a lot of sense.
It's Marvel, right?
Yes. And with that, they went in on a lot of things, even with the studios. It was hilarious.
Right.
Oh yeah, they went hard.
I gotta go watch that one.
They went real hard on this.
This was the first weekend, right?
Yeah,
I gotta
they
go watch
always
that
killed. And this has been the best movie since Endgame.
Okay.
Best Marvel movie since
Really?
Endgame. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Then I'm definitely gonna go watch
Oh,
it.
yeah.
All right.
yeah. So, but other than that, man, just chilling, enjoying these Olympics.
I know, right?
I'm a junkie. I will
Middle
watch.
of the night.
I will.
I was watching swimming last
go
night.
to sleep, wake up, something else is on. I'm watching that too.
I watched the gymnastics. Your girl, Simone,
Yeah.
killing it.
Oh, my gosh.
With a hurt calf. Just how bad is everyone else when they're like, I wouldn't say how bad. How good is she?
Yes.
When all they say is on the horse, all she's got to do is land. They're like, because the difficulty of what she's trying to attempt alone will keep her in the front if she just lands. So she landed and did a giant hop back to protect that leg and was like, pfft, still got the high score.
She's killing.
Same thing on the floor.
Dude.
Anytime you have tumbling routines that now bear your name because nobody's ever done them before and nobody can do them again.
She'll go down as the greatest.
Yeah.
Yeah. She'll go down as the greatest. There hasn't been anybody like her in a long time. Long time.
Yeah. Who was before her?
Yeah.
That dominated like this. She's got 7 gold medals.
They almost started talking about Gabby.
Yeah.
What was it, Gabby Douglas, I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, no. This one. And she's a grown woman now.
Yeah. What I find interesting is a lot of these athletes are no longer these young teens. They're all college.
And past college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, interesting. You got the lady from Brazil who's 32.
Yeah.
I mean, killing it.
Yeah. Body's more seasoned.
You know?
Absorb more shock. You're a lot stronger. The conditioning. I mean, if you stay on top of your game, you're in it.
My hat goes off to the woman from Indonesia. Did you see her?
No.
Torn ACL. She has it wrapped up. She gets up on the bars, the uneven bars, does her whole routine, and then when it comes to the end, she just stops and lets her coach catch her and brings her down. She didn't do her dismount because she's like, I don't want to land on my knee. But the cool thing is, she did that because she's the first gymnast ever from Indonesia to be in the Olympics.
Okay.
And she was like, now I can say I'm an Olympian, even though my ACL was torn.
Right.
Kind of wild, right? I was like, she knows
That's powerful.
She knows she ain't winning.
Yeah.
But
that's powerful.
Her country is being represented.
Exactly.
And so her coach stood there, and when she did all of her routine, when she got to the end, instead of swinging, flipping off, she swung a couple times, stopped, and he helped her down. And then she stood there and threw her hands up. I was like, that right there, that's why you watch the Olympics.
Yeah.
And I watch it all. Swimming, you name it, I'm watching it all.
Yeah.
So I'm glad, I'm not the only junkie.
Oh, man. Every time.
Middle of the night because it's daytime over there. I'm watching, all right, what's on now?
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. And we know you're up. This dude don't sleep at all.
It is what it is. Basketball. I watch the boys play. I watch the girls play. It's just different.
Yes. It is.
It's just different. Here's the interesting thing, though. You watch women's gymnastics, men's gymnastics, both exciting in different ways. You watch men's swimming, women's swimming, that race is exciting in different ways. Men's and women's basketball is just different. It's a whole different game. You know, it's different speed. It's everything. It's just different.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And so
I did find what was different. It's different, but it's just different is Rugby. I was watching the women's rugby as well.
Yeah.
The level of power behind their legs and the strength and the movement.
It's different.
It's different. You're like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, they're getting after it.
Yeah.
I don't watch rugby. I was entertained.
Yeah. I don't even understand the rules.
I don't
still
either.
watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, all right, I get it.
Oh, lateral. Lateral. Get it, girl. Go.
Touchdown. Wait a minute. Do they call it that?
Roll. I don't know what you do because they all tumble.
Yeah.
It's like tumble.
And they put the ball on the ground.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Go right back.
was that a touchdown? Was that a score?
I don't know. I don't know.
Y'all
It's
rugby
good, though.
fans, enlighten us.
Yeah.
Hit us up because
Yeah. I was
it's
entertained.
cool to watch. I don't understand the rules.
Yeah.
Don't know them. Still good to go. But we're going through all this to say that, men and women are different.
Yes.
And that's okay. This came up in conversation, and I had a post on my stories on IG yesterday that talked about this. And it was because of discussions I've had, and people over the last 2 years that we've been doing this podcast will say sometimes your podcast talks down to women or says negative things, whatever. And I'm like, does it really? Or do you take offense to things that aren't really made to be offensive? People hate when we make generalizations, but here's the funny part. You only dislike generalizations that you perceive as negatives. If I say all women are smart, nobody's going to be like, oh, that's just a generalization. We hate the generalization. But if I say women are emotional, they're going to be like, oh, why are you calling us emotional? Why are you making those generalized statements? When I say y'all or all or most, it's because I can't possibly know all 3 billion of you on the planet. But what I can say is from personal experience that most are a certain way. We make generalizations about everything in life because that's how we move through life. If an individual rolls up on me that's different from me, I know this is a woman, she's different than me. I immediately know we don't look the same, we don't act the same, we don't think the same.
I hope not.
We don't move the same. We don't experience life the same. None of that is the same. But me saying that is me making a generalization about that woman. And the reason why is because if I make a generalization that we are not the same, that we're different, then I know to approach her different than I would a man.
Correct.
Is that a wrong generalization? No, it's because it's true. We are different.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so just because we say that I'm different from you, there's no negative connotation to that.
No. As a matter of fact, it's just a way of showing us how to respect for who you are.
Yeah.
In your space of who you are.
If I approach you as I'm physically stronger than you, as a man to a woman, we're the stronger sex in most cases. Is that, if I say that, I'm saying I'm stronger than you. A lot of times what you're hearing is you're calling me weak.
Right. And
that's not what I said.
Right.
I'm pointing out a difference. I'm not pointing out a fault.
Correct. I mean, think about sprinters. Sprinters at the top of their game. Look at Richardson, and let's take Noah. Noah is going to run a sub 10.
Yep.
She's going to run probably close to a 10. It's not to say that he's just stronger. There's more power output that he has, that he's capable of having to be able to run a sub 10.
He's not, by coach saying he's different, he's stronger, faster than her, isn't saying she's slow.
Right.
Because she's the fastest woman on the planet.
Right.
That doesn't mean she's slow. It just means he's a faster, stronger sprinter. That's all we're saying. If I say I look different than you, that's not saying I'm pretty and you're ugly. I'm just saying I look different than you.
Exactly.
You know? But people take differences and look at them as, by when we point out differences, taking it as an insult or saying we're making a generalization about all women or about all men. And it's simply not the case. We're pointing out things and characteristics that are
dominant,
that are unique to women, that are not typically unique to men.
Right. They're uniquely dominant.
Yeah. And it's like, yes, there's going to be some women that don't have some of those characteristics, but the majority will have certain things that make you a woman. That doesn't make it a bad or negative thing. The only reason why it's looked at as negative is because maybe you have an issue with yourself and you're looking at it as a negative trait in you.
Where's the lie in that?
Right?
Where is the lie in that?
If you're upset about a difference and it makes you mad that this person has more money than you, he didn't call you poor, he's just rich.
Right.
But are you mad now because you said I pointed out the fact that he's got more money than you? That why are you calling me broke? I didn't call you broke. We're just pointing out differences. Well, why do you have to point out differences at all? Because the world works on us being different.
Right.
Differences are to be celebrated. The difference between men and women are to be celebrated. There's some times when those lines are blurred, but the mass majority of the world understands and celebrates our differences. That's what makes society thrive.
It's beautiful. It's harmonious.
We have different leadership skills. Mm-hmm. We have different communication skills. We have different ways of thinking. We have different ways of parenting.
Right.
You know, all of these different things are what make us as a society thrive. If we all were the same way, we would lose our way. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But people get fucking upset, man. To the point where if you have a conversation and you point out something they don't like about themselves,
that's all they heard.
Because it's not something I'm saying I dislike about you. I'm just saying here's something different. And you heard you don't like this about me. No, you don't like that about you.
And the thing is, if there's something that we dislike, I will say I dislike this about you.
And I will never say I hate when women X.
Right.
No, I dislike when a woman does this.
Correct. Think back to when we did the study. I like to call it the study.
It was a great study.
Because we did a study.
Yes.
That's what we do around here.
Hell yeah.
Around these parts, we do studies.
We take polls. We get it right.
But the polls that we took when we asked the women about the things that make them a little disgruntled, frustrated about men, it was very distinct. It was what irritated about that man that's either was in their life or that's in their life, or their experience with the last couple of men in their life because they keep experiencing the same thing.
Right.
They keep going after the same person.
Right.
When you ask a man, it was a generalization about these are his standards. This irritates me about women. When they don't let me talk, when they disrespect me, when they, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was a generalization.
Like you said, the difference between men and women, one of the differences is how much we talk and use our words. Right. It is a known fact that many psychologists and linguists have studied that women use more words per day than men.
Absolutely.
So if I say women talk more than men, it's a generalization, but It's based on studies. If you're going to say any medical study is a generalization based off of a certain N, which is a certain pool of patients. Think about this. They say, let's take prostate cancer as the number one killer of men, blah, whatever.
Okay.
Or let's just take that.
Yeah.
Did they go and poll every single man on the planet? No. They took a sample size, and from that sample, extrapolated it to the population. So when we say the majority of women do this, men dislike this, men like that, we took a large enough sample and we extrapolate it because my sample, his sample, and 10 other dudes' sample, that's a whole lot of women. 25 women taking a poll of their samples, that's a whole lot of men. So you can safely say that, yeah, that's a nice majority of people that have different opinions.
Yeah. Because for me, when I was doing that, I didn't have to write anything down. Like I wrote down maybe 3 or 4, and I just had to put a number by it because they all were saying the same thing. They all ended up being
the same thing. So that's a pretty good sample, but it's a sample that we extrapolate to the masses. So don't get mad when we make generalizations, because everything in life is a generalization, because you have to form an opinion based on the sample size of a population that you're given. Y'all fucking making me get intellectual today, and I just want to have a conversation. Jesus Christ.
It got me thinking about, like, when we did the study and the women were coming up with a laundry list.
Yeah.
Why? What about your standards? Like, I was like, because men had standards, women had direct reflections. How did it get so lost? You know what I mean? Like, well, not necessarily lost, because they were more in their feelings in respects to that versus this is what I believe or disbelieve.
Yeah. And ladies, I'm going to talk to you guys. We don't want to be you at no point in our lives. And we don't want you to be us. We want you to be different from us in every way possible, because we want you to bring to us what we can't bring to ourselves. But so many women and so many dudes look at this as a competition between men and women. And so we always want to try to be better at being a woman than she is, or better at being a man than he is. You want to, I want to be more emotional. I want to be more open with my feelings. I want to dude, be you. That's it. Whatever that is. You don't need to be more of something because that's what she may want. You don't need to be more of something because that's what he may want. Be more of you. And the differences between you, if it's not compatible, if there's no connection there,
shit happens.
Then it's okay. It's no shame on you. I'm not looking down on you because you're different than me. I'm a very logical thinker.
Yeah.
If you're a completely logical thinker without emotion, then we're going to be two Vulcans trying to communicate. As Coach said it earlier. For you Star Trek fans. Spock and Mrs. Spock.
Old Spock over here.
Yeah. But if you're bringing what I'm not, the softer side of me, it may let me settle in and be comfortable with not being logical all the time. Just
right.
You know what? I'll let good emotions take over. Bad emotions will get suppressed. That's just the way it's going to work. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know,
I won't let it,
but it won't control me.
Right.
just like logic is great, but sometimes you need to have an emotional response depending on who you're talking to. And if I can learn that, or if emotion will help soften a blow instead of being so matter of fact, okay. But just understand that I'm not you. I will never be you. I will never communicate like you. Just accept that. And it's okay.
And the thing is, and I want to clarify this, it's not that he's saying he's emotionless. He's just in touch with his emotions and what he's going to deliver.
I'm emotionally intelligent and I control them.
Correct.
So when you guys out there say men lack emotional intelligence, we don't fly off the handle and get pissed off. We just do all this, okay. And you might be right in instances, but yet let us make a generalization about women saying, you guys are emotional and irrational at times. Oh, you fly off the handle. And you prove the point.
And sometimes that makes us emotionally exhausted.
Yes.
Because we're so busy trying to work around that we're so tired once we finally, okay, lay to bed, lay to sleep. We're done with this right now, right? Whew. And then we're done.
Right. And if we say, I understand you're being emotional, that's not a negative thing.
That's not.
We're not saying, oh my God, here she is being emotional. It's just you're thinking different than the way we presented it. You're being emotional about a subject that needs a logical answer. Now, once you've gotten the emotion out of the way, can you see the side of rationality and just kind of say, okay, now that you've gotten that off your chest, can we talk about this in a rational manner and come up with a solution? Mm-hmm. Not that there was anything wrong with you coming at it from an emotional standpoint, but you got to be willing to hear the side too.
Exactly.
It's a difference, not an insult.
Yeah. And all that does is just humanizes it. That's all it does. You have the rational with the emotional. Mush that up, put some sprinkles on it, and you have a human.
Yeah. We move
different. Well-rounded, yeah.
We navigate life on this planet different. And that's just, we have to. Men navigate life throwing caution to the wind when it comes to ourselves in order to protect those around us with who we love. Women navigate the world being fully cautious because the world is not kind to them.
Which brings up a protective layer.
Right. Mm-hmm. The world, I take that back. The world is not kind to men, but men have the shoulders to carry that load. Mm-hmm. The world can be cruel to women based on what some men do, but the majority of the time, the world caters towards women, even when women don't see it. Mm-hmm. You know, but then people start screaming the vagina tax and blah, 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 blah. Yes, it does exist. But you have to think about where it comes from. Mm. Just like there's the race tax, there's the poor people's tax. Everybody's looked at different based on something they have or something they lack. So if you're a woman and you have to work harder to get ahead, then you have to work harder to get ahead. I'm a black man. I had to work harder to get ahead, and I'm still working hard every day. If I'm broke, I don't get the same doors open as if I have money. Why? Because the rich hang together and the poor stay poor. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking down to anybody. I'm just stating logical reasoning for why things are the way they are. And it's okay that we are different because as a woman, there's going to be doors that are open for you that I can't walk through.
Right.
As a man, I'm going to have doors that open for me because of the bro code that you don't get to experience. And that's okay. We don't have to do everything that everyone else does. We don't have to be privy to, I don't want to be you. I don't need to be accepted by everything and everyone that accepts you. I don't need to go to the girls' restroom. I got my own. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't need you to be a man. I can be the man here. I need you to be you. Don't get mad when I say, here's the difference between us.
Oh,
dude, they hate that.
Oh yeah, they're gonna hate this.
Oh, this
because
is,
it'll get overlooked.
Yeah.
They're not hearing exactly what we're saying, which is logical.
We've said nothing negative.
We said absolutely nothing.
Said nothing negative.
No.
We're going to keep saying that because people are going to try to find some negativity in this topic.
Yeah,
and we're not being negative. And why is it the conversation directed in a certain direction? Because we're men.
Yeah.
I can't come at a topic from a female point of view because I'm a man. So every topic we have is from a man's point of view.
Yeah.
Unless we take a poll and ask women, and then we give you the answers to that poll and give a man's perspective to the answers to that poll.
Right.
So stop asking us to be different.
Yeah. But I was just thinking about what you said earlier about, I'm black. I had to work hard. I have to continue to work harder. I had to do 10 times. But I know that, so I should be okay. Like, I'm going to be okay because I already know that.
I know this is what I got to do.
I'm not going to not do it and take offense to it because this is in my way. No, I got to do it. I get it.
I got no choice.
I have no choice.
If I want this, regardless of the barriers that are put up, I still want it, so I still just got to go get it.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to give it to me.
Yeah. That whole weaponizing it, is, come on.
When people say we weaponize being men all the time.
Do we?
We live life. People say it's great to be a man. How many of you want to be a man? How many of you actually want to be a man? Because the majority of people that say life as a man is easy don't see the cross we have to bear in order to be a man and make your life great. Mm-hmm. Just like I will never say a woman has it easy, because in certain aspects they do. Other aspects they don't. Certain parts of life we have easy because people will treat us differently as men, and in most parts of life we don't. Mm-hmm. And so one person's life is no better than life as a man is no better than life as a woman. It's just different.
Right. Yeah.
Because if you go out and ask every single woman, would you want to have a man's life? Hell no, I'd never want to be a man, but our life is so much easier. Mm-hmm. There's no answer to that. You ask any man, did you want to be a woman's life? I pray to God I never have to come back as a woman, because y'all have to deal with way too much. The weight of the world is on your mind. The weight of the world is on our shoulders. Neither one is easy to carry
at all.
It's just we carry different
well
loads.
Well said.
We carry different loads. Mm-hmm. We physically carry what you can't. You emotionally carry what we can't.
Because if we had to, we'll probably crumble.
And that's why we either suppress it or we put it on you, because emotions are not our thing to carry. We just don't. We don't handle them well.
Think about when they do come, you're almost like, what's going on? Whoa. This is weird.
And he can't explain it. He can't even tell you what's happening.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Yeah.
And so there's a reason why the world and society and humanity is set up the way that it is, y'all. And it's Because we were meant to celebrate and love each other's differences. We were meant to need one another. We were meant to live life knowing that our counterparts have everything we don't.
Correct. Which is why we also hate that term toxic, because you're just suppressing the other, which you're supposed to be there to enjoy.
And I don't mind the word toxic if you're talking about a toxic person.
Toxic person?
Nobody ever says toxic femininity. Nobody should ever say toxic masculinity, because it's not the masculine that's toxic, it's the person that's toxic.
Correct.
Just like there's toxic women out there, there's toxic men out there. There's just toxic people. So all the character traits that aren't yours as a woman, you call toxic, because it's everything a man is that maybe you want but can't have. A lot of women wish they had the strength to carry the world on their shoulders, because sometimes they have to, but their bodies and their spirit can't take it. And so when a man comes at you with what you think is toxic, or you have a boss that talks down to you, if I'm a dude and I have a boss that talks down to me, I brush it off. Why? Because I'm like, whatever, he's just being a dick today. When you have a male boss that talks down to a woman, it is automatically looked in her brain as man to woman, not boss to employee.
Right.
And she can't brush it off.
Yeah.
And so it's taken differently.
Yeah.
When a woman is a boss, it's delivered differently.
Yeah.
And neither one are received well.
Think about the place that I used to train. How many people used to leave women-wise because of the owner, versus the men's like,
whatever. He's an asshole. He's a dick.
It's the way he is, whatever, and keep it moving.
Yeah.
His spirit, he changes with the wind, whatever.
And why? Because we respond to the world different. We don't respond better than you. You don't respond to the world better than us. We just respond differently.
Yeah.
We move through this world differently. And that's okay. Some days you're going to be a step ahead. Other days we're going to be a step ahead. Some days we'll be side by side. But we're still moving differently.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's not insulting. It's not. There's nothing wrong with us being different.
Yeah.
Celebrate that shit.
I know. It's like because we hear it all the time. We see it. It's every feed on Instagram. It's just like, you've got to be kidding me. This is not the world we truly live in. And this is only a microcosm of what we're seeing and that we're taking on. So we're taking on visually what we see somewhere else as our thoughts, which is also a little scary as well.
But you'll see, you look at what's on social media, that kind of gives you insight to how people generally think. You listen to the conversations and you realize people don't like being different. But why? What's wrong with being different? There's not a fucking thing wrong with it. What's wrong with being different? It's okay that you think I'm too harsh, or it's okay that I think that you're too sensitive. Whatever it is, that's fine. Be with somebody else.
Let me tell you something. Different people to rich people.
Huh?
Different people are the rich people.
Yes. They live a different life.
Yeah, they live a different life.
And they ain't on social media talking about shit.
If they're on it.
They're not on social media talking about shit.
At all.
You know, they go on living their life. They've stepped on a bunch of people, sure. You know.
They've been stepped on.
Prime example, too. Look at the world of politics, Democrats and Republicans. Everybody says the other side, the left versus the right.
Correct.
Instead of left and right. This is not men versus women. This is men and women. It's not us versus you. It is not left versus right. It is not Republicans versus Democrats. There's a reason why there are two schools of thought, but if you really peel back the layers, the majority of those schools of thought overlap. But they take
so close to similar.
They take one topic like abortion and they make it the whole dividing line between left and right. You look at a system of taxes. Who gets taxed the most is what the dividing line is. But you ask anybody on the left, right, center, up, down, who wants to pay more taxes? Nobody. Everybody wants less taxes. You just got to figure out who. But yet there's these little nuances that they blow up into big deals because they're not okay with just being different.
Right.
It's okay to think different. Just because I think different from you doesn't make you an asshole. If I think different from you and I look down on you, that makes me an asshole. Mm-hmm. But people just can't get past themselves. I'm right, you're wrong. Because they always think there's a right and a wrong to everything. And that's not true.
And they're trying to give you their opinion. Give you
your
opinion. No.
And if I share my opinion with you and you don't like my opinion, that's okay. You don't have to like it. It's just an opinion. Mm-hmm. Somebody told me the other day, I don't want to know your opinion unless it's favorable to me. Then don't bring any topic up around me, right? Because
I'm not that guy.
I may say something that you might not find favorable. But if you're looking for yes men or people that are always going to say shit in your favor, I'm not that dude.
That's scary because to me, a true friend will tell me as is.
Yeah, that's what I do. I don't sugarcoat shit.
Oh.
And I expect people to do the same thing. When I'm fucking up, tell me. Oh, I was hurt by that. Cool. Duly noted. I'll keep conversations to myself. Mm-hmm. Because I know it's going to make you feel some kind of way. I just won't bring it up. Because there's no point. Because instead of hearing it, you're just going to take offense to it.
Right.
Instead of hearing what I'm saying and realize I'm not talking down to you. I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm not passing judgment on you. None of that shit. All I'm saying is, these are my thoughts on the subject. That's it. We can move on to the next one.
Thoughts on the subject,
yeah.
Not you.
Got nothing to do with you. But if you feel some kind of way, maybe you're offended by the fact that you feel that way. Not because I said it.
Nah, exactly.
You just don't like the fact that I pointed it out.
It's been called out. That's what it is.
And I'm not even calling it out in you. I'm just saying in general. Why are you generalizing? Because you felt I was talking directly to you about you. No. Just because I'm talking to you doesn't mean I'm talking about you. Man, woman, child, doesn't matter. Anyhow,
man,
just to sum this up, man.
Stop your crying. That's what I got to say. Be a human. Stop your crying.
Just because we're different doesn't make us enemies. This is not me versus you. This is not man versus woman. This is not left versus right. This is not black versus white. This is a single humanity that we all need each other, regardless whether you like it or not. The world does not spin unless we all fucking twist it. So, understand that. Life will be so much better. Anyway, let's get the fuck out of here. I'm done with these people. So angry. Man. Coach KJ, where they gonna find you, man?
They're gonna find me not being emotional. Good Lord. After this conversation. At Coach KJ Knows on Instagram and CoachKJ.com. Where they gonna find your smock ass.
You gonna find me hopefully not in prison. You're gonna find me at Leonel Hunt on IG. You're gonna find me at huntspine.com. Go check out the Hunt Foundation at thehuntfoundation.org. Doing big things over there. Check us out, both of us, every Saturday on IG Live. You'll see us on my IG as well as SOE_podcast on IG. Go check out Everything Coach and Doc on podcastsoe.com. Every Saturday, every Wednesday. Saturday is the warm-up show. Wednesday, the new podcast comes out. And with that, deuces, we out.